Hey guys, I'm back here again this evening or whatever time it is where you are, and that to bring forth, as you see from the title of the video, another TV review. I'm just kind of pumping these out and everything. So, yeah, why not? I just thought I'd just get them all out of the way to start with, and that. So I'm pumping out my review now for, as you see from the title, my review for the first half of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 3, and that, which I'm looking forward to getting into and that. And so that initially starts with my review to say, by saying that I will say firstly this will contain spoilers for the first half of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 3, like everything that's happened so far up to episode 10 of the third season, and that. So going off that, let's get into this review and that and somewhat kind of discussion, I guess. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed my prior two videos for Arrow and Flash. They were very kind of enjoyable to make and record, and so I hope you enjoyed them. And so yeah, let's get into this one. So yeah, starting off, I've really enjoyed where Agents of Shield has gone this season and that and everything. I liked where all the characters, like with Coulson coming back and Coulson having the one hand now, his strengthened robotic hand is pretty cool. I do like that. And everyone coming back into their roles. Ward seems like he stepped it up this season. I like that, of how he stepped it up. I'm still kind of trying to can't not I'm trying to not cope, but I'm trying to process Sky, or Chloe Bennett's new name, or Sky's new name is Daisy Johnson, which she's now being called full time. And I think I'm up to a point where I've just about processed it and that, but she'll always be Sky to me, and that I can't kind of get past that and everything. But yeah, it's good to have her back. I thought most of the actors actually have stepped up their game this season. Two of them that stand out is Ian DeCest. I'm butchering his name, but Ian Ian DeCastecker, who plays Leo Fitz, and who plays Fitz pretty much. And he stepped up his game. You saw that in the premiere of that scene where he's punching the monolith. Because as we saw at the end of season 2, how Simmons got sucked into the monolith, we don't know what happened to her and that. And I'll get into that and everything. And he stepped up his game this season, as well as Elizabeth Henstridge. I apologize. He plays Simmons, and that Gemma Simmons. She stepped up her game this season. They all stepped up their game this season. I think all the performances this season from the main cast, for the most part, was very, very solid, and I've really enjoyed them this season so far. Anyway, during this first half, and getting into like kind of the specifics of what's going on this season. I'll get into start with. Let's get into like I've just Daisy and her Secret Warriors team and that, because we see how the Secret Warriors are kind of kicking off this season and that, and I like that. It's exciting, kind of getting into more inhuman angle of it all and that. And I like how Daisy's starting to, and we didn't really see the Secret Warriors team become full on until near the mid-season finale, or in the mid-season finale pretty much, and even then they didn't do a ton. And at the moment it only consists of Daisy, Lincoln, and Joey, and that. I apologize. I don't have the best of backs at the moment, but okay, that's all good. But yeah, you have Daisy and her Secret Warriors team, which only consists of her, Lincoln, and Joey, and that, which is going. I like how that kind of lineup and everything, and how they kind of kicked off the season with Lincoln being. I didn't, but like you had Lincoln on the run at the start of the season. I didn't necessarily like that kind of aspect of how this season has gone so far and everything. But it was still kind of I was still like one curious where they were going to take him and that and everything, like how you have the ATCU kind of after him and everything like this, and he was also on the run because Lash was after him, and I will get to Lash, the big one of the big villains of this season and everything. Oh yeah, and you have yeah, Lincoln and Joey, and Joey can like melt stuff, and Lincoln has like the what would you call it, that the electric kind of beams, like he can make like I'm not an expert with this kind of stuff and everything, but you know what I mean. Like you've seen, if you're watching this review, you know what I mean, and that like he can make the lights go out and everything. Like I just can't think of the word at the moment. I can't think of the words or word at the moment,
but you know what I mean. But I liked how he was on the run, kind of. It was I didn't mind it anyway. I was kind of felt a little bit dragged there, but I was glad that they kind of got to the Proto Secret Warriors team by the mid-season finale. So I was managed to at least mention a little bit of it, even though we didn't see much of it, and that in the first half. And that getting on from that, I'll mention stuff like I'll mention now. I'll mention the ATCU angle of this season. We have the ATCU coming into things, and that, which I'm not mistaken, the ATCU stands for, and I apologize for not having this, the Advanced Threat Containment Unit, and that's. But yeah, so you have the Advanced Threat Containment Unit, the ATCU, led by Rosalind Price, and that Rosalind Price, played by Constance Zimmer, and that who builds a very nice bond with Coulson during this first half of the season, which I did at first. I was a bit very iffy about it, just because of trust issues about her. I wasn't sure if I very much trusted her or not, but as it built on, it started to seem more genuine. And even after the Hydra reveal of how she's being kind of the ATCU are forced to kind of report to Hydra, kind of. Even after that, I kind of still kind of liked their relationship for the brief amount of time they had after that and everything. And because as we saw, Ward ends up killing Rosalind right in front of Coulson, and I will come back to that because Ward had a big first half of this season, even though he wasn't on screen for a ton of it. He still had a big first half, and that. And yeah, I did like Coulson and Rosalind's relationship. I thought Clark Gregg and Constance Zimmer worked really well on screen together, and it just worked well. The ATCU was a nice angle, I guess. I didn't care for it all that much, and that you had characters like Banks, who was introduced via the ATCU, who I didn't really care for much, and that, and yeah, Banks was pretty much killed later on, and he didn't feel much emotion about that, I guess, and so yeah, that was that anyway. But it was disappointing that he died though, and everything. It was disappointing. But yeah, the ATCU are pretty much, I would say, just about done by now. Like we've just done one half of a season. The ATCU stuff is done. Rosalind's dead. Banks is dead. So the two big members of the ATCU are gone. I wonder if there'll be there still would be members of the ATCU, I would assume, but I wonder if there's if they'll get back to it or anything, because I think there's going to be bigger stuff going on in the second half rather than the ATCU. But we'll see what they do there. Going off that, I should mention I want to mention the other kind of the other planet stuff and everything. We had that other planet which Simmons was kind of teleport or kind of taken to, it's like she was teleported to, or she went through the portal to, and that, yeah, she was sucked into that other planet. She went to the portal to the monolith, and that to the planet known as Maveth, I believe, as the mid-season finale is with titled by the planet's name, Maveth, and that, and and I like that whole episode with her on the planet, and you see kind of how the dangers of this planet and the sky zone and everything like that, the no-fly zone, or was it the sky? It might have been the no-fly zone actually. I'm not. Yeah, it was one of the two. I did like the episode. I thought Elizabeth Henstridge did a really good job in the episode. I liked kind of her bond going there with Will in the episode, and that it did feel a little slowish at parts, and that I wanted to keep moving, but I liked that they took a risk with it. They did an experiment, which I like how shows do sometimes, and you had like a new type of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. opening with it, like a kind of creepier, darker, alien-like opening, which I really liked. So that was a very good episode, and it kind of wrapped it all in a nice bow of how Fitz saved her, and it was pretty quick how they saved her. I like how they didn't drag it out at all. Like, he just got her out in episode 2. Like after he's freaking out all in episode 1 and everything like that of the season, he pretty much saved her by the end of episode 2 and that. And we see in this episode, which I believe it was episode 5, with Simmons on the planet, pretty much gives us a nice bow, explains to us about what happened to her there during the 7 months she was on the planet, and the moments of how she escaped and everything like that, and how Will helped her escape. The NASA astronaut who we learned more about how he was sent there by, he was sent there by Hydra, I believe, wasn't he? But he was under the it was a very weird thing there. The Hydra aspect of the other planet can kind of had me lost for a moment there and that, but that's just me. I could be easy to lose track of things, but yeah, that was that. Simmons and Fitz's relationship developing this season was very nice, and that you had like you had their first kiss, which I guess you could say was nice and everything. And it was it was very nice how the relationship kind of developed. I was very worried at one stage when Fitz kind of freaked out over the fact that when he sees the picture of her and Will on a phone. And I must say, how did that phone last her that long on the planet? The one Fitz got, like, my God, man, I don't know what was with that. But I almost got very annoyed where I thought Fitz was going to get annoyed because he had a photo of some guy, some quote unquote hot guy on this planet, and that. I'm just like, Fitz, please don't freak, don't make some love triangle shit. And thank God he did it. And he kind of just was and by the end of the scene or this moment, he pretty much is determined to save Will, to help her save Will for the planet, and I love that. I thought that was brilliant. I thought that was great. I didn't want it, didn't turn into anything, some dramatic bullshit or something like that. It was very nice, and I very much liked that. As well as that, you had kind of what is it? We want to get into. Well, that's mainly the planet stuff going on. I'll come back to the planet stuff when we get to the mid-season finale of sorts and that. So going on from that, you have kind of I'll get into the Ward stuff now, pretty much. I'll get into the Ward stuff, which will carry on to the mid-season finale. Ward had such a great first half. I think Brett Dalton as Ward is doing a great job ever since in season one where he betrayed Shield and turned it, and he's just gone better and better. I think that's tested his acting. It's pushed him to limits of his acting rather than him being that typical tough good guy and everything, which he was for the most part. It's in the start of season one and everything like that. So this pushed him, and it's pushed him even more. And I can't wait to see the limits they push him in the second half. But I will get into what they did with him in the first half of this season and that. So you have Ward striking back and everything against Coulson with everything that's happened after and by pretty much killing Rosalind in front of Coulson during a dinner. And this is moments after Rosalind's claiming she's going to confront Malik, one of the former kind of World Council members of S.H.I.E.L.D., who's actually a member of Hydra. And that I will admit, I'm getting kind of tired of Hydra. I just want it to end. It's gone on too long. I just want the Hydra aspect of this show to end and just go full on Inhumans or full on something. I'm just getting a little tired of the Hydra aspect. I know you have to have maybe it's like you have to have Luke. It's like Luke, Darth Vader. It's like Joker and Batman. It's like Shield and Hydra. I can understand that. I'm just getting a little tired of it. It's like, you know what I mean? Yeah. But going off that, I did like the whole scene with him shooting Rosalind in the throat right in front of Coulson with that sniper. Holy shit! What an opening to the episode. One of the craziest openings to an episode of Agents of Shield we've ever had. And at Coulson holding her in his arms and everything was just pure crazy. And going off that as well, yeah, and this leads directly into the mid-season finale. This made Coulson angry. This pushed Coulson. We had the badass Coulson just come on out. He just unleashed himself going into the mid-season finale. It was so damn cool to see. So damn fun to see. And he just makes Mac temporary director of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I liked. I think that was very cool to see. And then you had him pretty much go full on assault on Hydra after Hydra actually have kidnapped Simmons and Fitz, and are using them to help them make this portal to the to that other world in Maviv, so because the Hydra have some sort of connection there where they want to find something human that's there or something of the sort, and that I didn't quite understand, and that, and so Coulson goes there to and everything. I did find it weird though when he's so determined. He jumps out of the plane during the whole firefight, or not the plane, but the Quinjet. I would say jumps out of the Quinjet. And it is a perfect drop for him to jump into the portal. I found that very what is it? Coincidental, I guess you would say, and everything. Like, yeah, what a coincidence, I guess you could say, and that and Yeah, but I like the scenes in the Hydra with has Simmons. Not, well, Simmons scenes kind of with Ward, but I liked Fitz's scenes with Ward, especially in the mid-season finale, and that with his scenes with Ward are very neat. And that Fitz has always had a cool relationship with Ward, a very interesting developed relationship, and that which I've liked. And I love the scenes in the mid-season finale, not only with the Secret Warriors and everything, and I will come back to it and everything, but also with some. Actually, I will mention this now because I don't want to mention the big stuff that goes down at the very end of this mid-season. I will mention now before I get to it is one of the biggest reveals of this season is who is Lash, because we found out Lash could transform into a human, and that they were suspecting, like Daisy and everyone was suspecting could be Banks. I wasn't thinking it would be Banks. I was like, nah, I don't think it's Banks, and we get the reveal, and I actually heard a theory on this, but prior to the reveal, I was like, you know what, that's a very damn good theory. And then I looked and I watched the episode. I'm like, holy shit, it's actually Andrew. It's May's. Would you say May's ex-husband? Yes, May's ex-husband. I guess you could say Andrew Garner, the therapist for the Inhumans. I guess you could say Dr. Andrew. And that was such a great reveal because it makes sense, and it's really interesting to see how he learned, how he became Lash and all this. And I thought that was really interesting. And I liked it. I liked how they handled it. I like how it kind of played off Jai Ying's books from the season two, the Daisy's mother or Sky's mum or whatever, and how he kind of one of her books he opened turned him into this, and it's like a curse pretty much. I guess you could say it's technically a curse of sorts, I guess you could say. And he has this blood fest for Inhumans that he wants to kill them and stuff like that. Like he has this blood. He can I think he, but it's I think he can control it around a few of them. I would assume he can because he doesn't have any temptation. It seems to attack like people like Daisy. I think Daisy is the one he can hold back on the most for some reason. So he has no temptation there. It doesn't seem. And I'm very, very excited to see what they do with him next after he pretty much convinces Simmons to let him, because they did capture him at one point in that great episode that I really enjoyed, and Blair Underwood, who plays him, did a great job this season. So, well, the first half of this season, and I very much liked how after he gets captured and he gets sent to the ATCU, but we find out how the ATCU are connected to Hydra, so he's pretty much under the proper in the possession of Hydra at the moment. So in the Hydra basement, Simmons is escaping. He pretty much convinces Simmons to let him out so he can protect her and everything. But in the meantime, as he protects her, which he does, going into Lash form also makes him kill every single Inhuman they have in cryo sleep. He pretty much massacres all of them, and which is brutal. Brutal. We don't see it, but we see the remains of what he's done, and it's damn brutal. And I'm very, very curious to see what they do with him next. Because at first I was thinking he could be the big bad of the season, but I don't think so. After what we have at the end of this episode, I don't think he will be the big bad that will top off the whole season and everything. I think the big bad is what's coming, what I'm about to mention, and it's going back to the other world stuff and everything. On the other world, you have some very exciting scenes. I love the reveal when Fitz finds Will and he's walking with Will alone after escaping from Ward, who's on the other planet too, with him and everything, and they pretty much separate from Ward and everything. And what is it? He gets the reveal Fitz when he's alone with Will that Will has actually died saving Simmons, and this is pretty much the Inhuman of the planet, like I'm just calling it the Mav of Inhuman. Does it have a name? Death? It's not Death. No, it wouldn't be Death. Like, it's, and I really did like that quite a bit and everything. I very much did, and that I very much did enjoy that. I thought that was very, very good. As well as that, what else do we have? Uh, hmm. Going on from that, I like that whole reveal. A very intense fight scene with I love how Fitz is holding his own against Will and everything. It was cool. I like that. Like he was somewhat holding his own anyway, and that, and yeah, whatchamacallit. But going on from that anyway, I'll mention stuff regarding Coulson kills Ward and everything like that, and whatchamacallit, and going on from that, that was like a huge moment when Coulson kills Ward and everything, and whatchamacallit, and I thought that was really, really cool. I like that quite a bit, and that, but I could understand people who didn't all that much like it, but I liked it because it was
such a significant moment for Coulson, and it's such a turning point for Ward. But I liked it in the aspect of Coulson's character. I didn't like it the fact that Ward died. I didn't like that, honestly, and everything. That didn't do it for me. I didn't want Ward to die, honestly. Like in that aspect, I didn't like it. But in the aspect of Coulson still being alive, I like Coulson being a badass. I mean, I did like it and everything, and that so that was cool. And as well as that, what is it? I liked how he dropped his hand, like he didn't want the reminder of what he did, so he pulled off his robotic hand and left it with Ward on the planet and everything. That was cool, and that and going and I liked how Fitz stopped kind of the inhuman will from going through the portal back to Earth, and it was all pretty much wrapped in a bow for the first half really well, and I loved the end of the first half with the inhuman Ward holding the hand on Earth, confronting the head of Hydra. Like it's very exciting stuff of what they could do with Ward and everything. It's really really exciting, and I can't actually wait to see what they do with Ward. But for the most part, I really enjoyed the first half of the season. Very well done. I can't actually wait to see what they do next. And that there's so much stuff they can do. Ward's an Inhuman now. I don't even think that is Ward. That's probably Death. It's not Ward, I'd say. So I'm looking forward to what they're doing. But for the most part, I'll give season 3 so far about an 8.5. Some shock reveals I loved, and it's been really really good so far. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. I should have another video up tonight. Maybe we'll see what happens. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. That's all for now. Thanks, guys.